Well, welcome to this edition of Gur in the Wild. As you can see, presently at Charles C. Deam Wilderness. Going to walk out here a couple miles and pitch a tent and stay in the wilderness this evening. So I'm going to take you along with me. So today I'm parked here at the Hickory Ridge Lookout Tower. Let me see if I can show you the tower. 110 feet tall. They say there's a great view up there. I wouldn't know for myself. So this is where we're starting from. Going to take the Sycamore Trail, go out to campsite 4. Okay, so the car is locked. The trail is up ahead. Let's go. Okay, we're going to walk out here just a little ways to Sycamore Trail, and we'll turn right off of this trail onto Sycamore. And got just about 2.25 miles to walk in total, going out to campsite 4. Now, I stopped at the forest office and asked about trail conditions. And he said the reports that he'd been getting was that they're fairly muddy because of all the rain we've had recently. And so that's perfectly understandable. So we'll walk out here and see what kind of condition the trail is in. We have to drop down into a valley. And so that's the part that I'm really concerned with, is what the conditions are going to be down there. The campground is down in that valley, and it's beside a creek. And so if the campsite has been flooded, then it may be too wet. And we'll just turn around and come back. Coming up to Sycamore Trail. Been walking on Terrell Ridge Trail, which, it's only about at most 0.2 of a mile out to this point from the parking lot. And so there is the sign. Says, hope you can see that, Sycamore Trail goes that way, or you keep going the direction we've been going to stay on Terrell Ridge. A little bit of a climb there, last 100, 200 feet, whatever. Another nice thing about Sycamore Trail is that it is a hiking trail only. Now, I believe all of the other trails in Deam are multi-use being hiking and equestrian or horse paths. But this trail is hiking only. As I walk along, seeing a lot of these sprouts like this. Okay, so now the trail is starting to drop down into that valley right there. So I'm starting another switchback, and this is going to be a series of switchbacks that'll take me down into that valley. So here's another view of that valley that we're headed into. Pretty good drop down there. I don't know, 100, 200 feet. Of course, the flip side of dropping down into the valley is that tomorrow on my hike out, I'll have to hike up out of the valley. Somewhat surprisingly, maybe, the trail has been in really good condition so far. Here on the hillside. We'll see what it's like when we get down in the valley, see if it's muddy down there. Here we are in the valley. And as soon as you get down off of that last switchback and into the valley, there is a undesignated campsite here, and there's nothing wrong with that. In Deam Wilderness, you can camp anywhere so long as you're 100 feet off of the trail, away from water and away from a road. And so this is an undesignated, non-designated campsite here, and it's pretty nice. I'm not camping here tonight, but if you wanted to walk a shorter distance and get to a nice campsite, here's one right here. In fact, another YouTuber, his channel is called That Hiking Guy. His name is Chris, and I think he said on a video that he has camped here. And as I said, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can camp anywhere here in the wilderness as long as you're 100 feet away from the trail, away from water, and away from a road. But let's get back on the trail. We got about, should be less than 2 miles now to get to campsite number 4. Coming up to my first creek crossing. I say first because indeed it is the first of about 6 times, maybe, I think, that I have to cross this creek. Trying to look for a way across where I can cross it without getting my feet wet. Person with good balance might be able to walk across that log. That's not me. I think I can get through here. Let's see. This looks quite doable. And yeah, we're doing all right. So like I said, that's probably the first of, I know, at least 5, maybe 6 times I'm going to have to cross that creek. If this hike piques your interest at all in Deam Wilderness, and in particular the Sycamore Trail, I'm going to put a couple links, at least 3 links, down in the description area of other videos you can watch. David Gray is a prolific YouTube poster. He's done trips on the Appalachian Trail, a lot of trips in the Smokies and out west as well, and several right here in Deam Wilderness and also in Morgan Monroe State Forest. So I'll put David Gray's link in the description. Another group who has hiked this trail is Adventure Archives, and so I'll give you their link as well. And it's a group of 3, sometimes 4 guys. Usually, in most of their videos, it's 3. 2 brothers and their cousin who have hiked all over Indiana and Ohio. One of them is from Indianapolis, and then the 2 brothers are from either Dayton or Columbus. I think it's Columbus. So in addition to David Gray and Adventure Archives, I've already mentioned That Hiking Guy, and so I'll put his link down in the description as well. And probably even Brian Carlson. Brian has just finished a section hike of the AT, but he often hikes with That Hiking Guy. And so they're good buddies. They they rib each other mercilessly. But in the final analysis, you know that they are doing just that, just ribbing each other. They are really good buddies, and so it's fun to watch two versions of the same hike. And so watching both of them gives you that opportunity. Should be getting close to campsite 2. Campsite 2 is the first designated campsite that you come to in the valley. Well, I have not seen a sign saying that this is campsite 2, but it does look like it would be a good campsite if it is not. If I see a sign that says campsite 2, I'll let you know. So yeah, I think that must have been campsite 2 back there that I showed you, because as you can see, the sign here says that this is campsite 3. Here is a really beautiful section of trail. I hope it's looking good on the video, because I can tell you this is just really a beautiful section. In fact, it just kind of reminds me of some of the trail on the AT that I've seen videos of. Sign says campsite 4. This is it. Looks like someone left me some wood. Well, wasn't that nice of them? Might have a campfire tonight. All right. Going to get this backpack off and sit down for a spell. All right, so here I am at campsite 4 in Deam Wilderness. It was an easy walk, but my backpack, I don't know. I may have to rethink my backpack. My back is hurting quite a bit. Shouldn't be. So I may have to rethink my backpack. Okay, I'm going to sit here and rest for a while, and then I'm going to set up camp and come back and talk with you in a little bit. It's 12 after 5. Got the tent set up, and my sleeping pad and quilt and pillow are in there. And over there, I've got most everything else. The orange thing there is my cook kit. I'll be using it in a little bit. And the yellow bag is my food bag, so I'll be using that in a little bit. Someone left a lot of firewood, but I'm not sure I'm going to have a fire. I'm probably just going to fix some supper, sit here and relax for a while, and when it starts getting dark, head for the tent. So, I want to show you this. That's my roof for tonight. Is that gorgeous or what? So, after I get some supper fixed, I'll let you see what's on the menu for tonight. My meal is rehydrating. Got about a minute to go. So after pouring in the boiling water into the packet, then I put the whole packet into this DIY cozy to keep it hot. So tonight's dinner is Peak Refuel sweet pork and rice. I've already stirred it once. Stir it up one more time just to Make sure everything is as it should be. Already said grace, so I can just dig in. Let's see what this stuff is like. Okay. All right. Sweet pork and rice. I'm not big on sweet pork. It's never been one of the things that I crave, but this is pretty good. Okay, letting my meal cool a little bit. So while that's cooling, I'm just going to do a quick recap. I am in Charles C. Deam Wilderness. It's just southeast of Bloomington. It's southeast of Lake Monroe. It is the only designated wilderness area in Indiana. I parked my car at the Hickory, I think it's the Hickory Ridge trailhead, where the fire tower is. Walked about 1/10 of a mile, got to Sycamore Trail, and walked out that way about 2¼ miles, and that's where I am at campsite 4. So that's a recap. I'm going to go ahead and finish my dinner and just sit here and soak in the solitude, and I'll see you in the morning. Well, as you can see, I'm back home. This is 2 days after being at camp, and I failed to do a proper wrap-up to the hike, and so that's what I'm going to do right now. The Sycamore Trail was in very good condition. Just one muddy spot, and it was easy to get around, and only 2 blowdowns that were easy to step over. So kudos to the trail maintainers. The trail was in excellent shape. The campsite 4 on Sycamore Trail is just excellent. This makes my second time staying there, and I'll tell you, it's just a wonderful campsite. It's set in a stand of pine trees, and the water is right there by the campsite, and it's tucked away, and it's just a private piece of heaven. So I highly recommend that campsite. I slept well. One of my better sleeps camping. Although at about 1:15, I think it was, I was awakened, I don't know, whichever word is correct, by what I can only describe as a banshee scream up on the ridge, not too far from where I was camping. Don't know what it was, don't want to know what it was, but it did wake me up. Let's see, I had a good breakfast. I had biscuits and gravy from Peak Refuel. The hike out was tough. I'm not going to kid you about that one. The hike out was tough. Had pain in my back, my shoulders, my hips, my legs. It was tough. And it has convinced me that the hike that I was planning for later this month in the Smokies is probably not going to happen. I'm not ready for the Smokies. That's what a shakedown hike is for, to let you know what works and what doesn't work, and definitely my body isn't ready to do the work. So thanks for watching. I hope this video was interesting. As I said, I will put some links to some other people who have hiked the Sycamore Trail. I'll put those links down in the description. Check them out. I think you'll enjoy their work. So until the next time, have a good day, a good evening, a good night, and I'll catch you on the next one.